Hello, everyone. My name is Seferino Esparza, and I work at the CBS Library. And welcome to this video tutorial of the ATLA Religion Database. Let's say you were given an assignment where you have to find information on Jonah, the prophet, and also Nineveh, the ancient capital city of the Assyrian Empire. So, where will you start? How will that work? Well, the majority of time, you'll start using what's known as Boolean operators. Boolean operators help define the relationship between your terms. Boolean operators are and, or, and not. And combines search terms so that each search result contains all of the terms. Like we see here in the diagram, and is where the two terms overlap. And this is where your search results will come from. Or combines search terms so that each search result contains at least one of the terms or both of the terms. In the diagram, we see that OR basically separates them, giving us a higher number of results. Not excludes terms so that each search result does not contain any of the terms that follow it. For instance, Nineveh, not Jonah. So that means that we will only get what's Nineveh and not anything to do with Jonah. At this point, you might want to pause the video so you can take a look at the slide and better understand. Now that we have somewhat of an idea of what Boolean operators are, let's go ahead and use them. So we look at our search term, Nineveh, and then we add the Boolean operator and then Jonah. And let's see what kind of results we get and how many. Okay, we see that we get 60 results, and these are our articles that we have, or reviews. And then what happens if we change that to or? We see that our results jumped from 60 to almost 2000. Now, if we change that to not, we see our results change again from almost 2000 to 300. So again, these are how these three Boolean operators work. Now, let's say you wanted to add another term. Is it possible to add a third term and add more Boolean operators? Well, it is, and it would look something like this. So we have here Nineveh, not Jonah, and then we can add and Assyria. Before we continue, there is this order of operation. What that means is that Boolean operators, the database will look at the not first, it will look at this first, and then it will look at the and then if we had an or, it will look at the or last. So how does that look like? Okay, let's hit the search. So again, there it goes. It goes down to 66. Again, we see here this order of operation of not, and or. With our search terms, sometimes it's better to add parentheses to help better define what we are looking for. So if we take what we have here, and let's go ahead and change this a little bit. So we take Nineveh, and instead we'll put or Assyria. Since Nineveh is the capital of Assyria, we can use or as a almost as a synonym to Assyria. And what we want to do is add parentheses between those two. And what we're telling the operation is to look at that first, and then we go and Jonah. So let's see what we have here. And then it did go up a little bit, but our terms become closer to what we're looking for. So again, we can add some parentheses to help control this order of operation. Now, before we go on, I do want to show you a great helpful trick using the asterisk symbol. And let me show you what I mean by that. So we use the word Assyria, and then we hit the search button. And so what it will do, it will look for the word Assyrian, Assyrians, also as in plural, and Assyria. So it will look for other various forms of the word. Now the asterisk symbol can be used at the end, and in some cases it can be used at the beginning, just depending on your search term. And another great tool is what's known as a wildcard. And for a wildcard, we'll use the question symbol. So let's take, for example, what we have here, Assyria, and then let's say we want to add culture. So we put CUL, and let's say we didn't know how to spell with a T, but instead we'll put a question mark, then URE. So we have CUL question mark URE with search. As we can see, it adds the T. It recognizes that we need the T. So the question mark only replaces that one letter that you see where you put the question mark. Another manner of helping with your search is what's known as control vocabulary. Control vocabulary saves you from having to come up with and then search for every possible synonym or alternative spelling for a term. And one of the ways that we can do this is by using the subject headings. And we can find these by if we scroll down here to where it says subject, and then we can go to show more, and we can pick the subjects headings that we want to use. Not all of them will fit, so we will choose the ones that we want. For instance, Nineveh, ancient city, and we want Bible and Jonah. So let's just use those two. So we update it, and then our results goes down, and now we use the subject headings that only fit with Nineveh, ancient city, and also Jonah. Now another way that control vocabulary helps us here in our database is through the use of a thesaurus. So let's go ahead and use that. We click on that. And for this, we're going to go ahead and search sanctification. So we hit browse, and we see the word sanctification here. And what we do is we go ahead and click on that, and then we'll use where it says explode. We'll click on that if it has an option. And then we want where these all overlap. And what that means is it will add it, and so you can see it better. It is looking for sanctification, merit theology, perfection, mortification, Christianity. So those are the terms that as a thesaurus it's going to look for. So we go ahead and hit search. Now we have our results here that have the words that we are looking for. In conclusion, I just want to say that if you need some help, don't hesitate to call us or email us and let us know. But also there is a help link up here that you can click on that will also give you much information and some more examples of what we just did. Once again, I thank you and I appreciate you taking the time to view this video.